Do Flamengo currently have the next creative genius Brazilian Wonderkid? And just who is this player who could well be the next Kaka? His name is Guilherme Militão de Oliveira Ruck Veja, but you can call him Gui Ruck. At just 16 years old, this Brazilian Wonderkid already has a crazy backstory. He would have trials in Portugal for Vitória Guimarães, train with Real Valladolid in Spain, and by 2022, he was tearing it up whilst in the academy at Real Valladolid. Whilst at Valladolid, he would score 8 goals and provide 14 assists in 23 youth appearances. This would catch the attention of Real Madrid and PSG, who were said to be very interested in signing the young Brazilian. Despite that interest, he would actually choose to head home to Brazil, where he would sign on with Flamengo. At 16, Gui Ruck has been well travelled as a footballer, but is still in the infancy of his career. Flamengo's youth academy could be the right place for him, as he looks to follow in the footsteps of Vini Jr. and Lucas Paqueta by playing for Flamengo. He plays the game with the Brazilian flair and can create at will in the final third of the pitch. He has silky dribbling skills and possesses pinpoint accuracy with his passes. If Gui Ruck works hard and continues to develop his game, we might see him make the breakthrough to Flamengo's first team soon, and maybe he could even return to Europe. One thing is for sure, Brazil have found another gem of a player on their hands in Gui Ruck. Let me know in the comments section your opinion of Gui Ruck. Just how good do you think he could be? Today's video is brought to you in association with Passion4FM. Passion4FM is the #1 football manager blog dedicated to enhancing your football manager experience. On the website, you will find guides, tactics, shortlists, graphical and database updates, alongside in-depth articles about the world's best football manager simulation game. For this video, I've downloaded the Passion4FM Nextgen Wonderkid database. This database is the #1 resource for adding new real-world Wonderkids to your brand new save games. Download it from the description and enhance your save games now. In today's video, I'm going to let Football Manager predict the future. Starting in 2024, I'm going to run a simulation that will take a look at Gui Ruck's career across the next 15 years. Let me know in the comments section down below how you think this one is going to play out. Does Gui Ruck really have the potential to go on to become the next Kaka, or will he simply become just another Brazilian Wonderkid? Whilst you're in the comments section, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on the channel and check out the rest of the Wonderkid series. In the Nextgen database and at the beginning of this simulation, Gui Ruck starts off with a set of attributes that are really going to need some development. Having said that, these are only estimates, so he may vary game to game. With that in mind, looking at the attributes themselves, the technicals are the weakest of the 3 areas, and he's really going to need to take big steps forward if he's going to go on to become an elite Wonderkid in that area. However, in the mentals, he scores strongly for decisions, determination and flair, and then in the physicals, he scores well for acceleration, pace and agility. At the start of the game, he looks a little bit lightweight, so may need to bulk out, and I guess the big question really here is, can he break through into Flamengo's first team quickly, and how much development is to come if he's going to make it as an elite Wonderkid? At the 5-year stage, Gui Ruck is now 20 years old and he's taken a step forward by being promoted to Flamengo's reserve team. Most importantly for him and his development though, he has now had exposure to first team football, making 20 appearances for Flamengo in the first 5 years of his career. That exposure to first team football has really aided his development. When we look at the attributes now, you can see he's taken a step forward in all 3 areas. In terms of the technicals, he has standout for dribbling, passing and technique. In the mentals, it's anticipation, composure, decisions, flair, determination, vision and off the ball. And in the physicals, he has acceleration, agility, pace, stamina and balance all improving. Let me know in the comments section down below, do you think he's developing quickly enough in the first 5 years to go on and have a career as an elite Wonderkid? Just how much more development is there to come from Gui Ruck? At the 10-year point, Gui Ruck is now 25 years old and he's still at Flamengo. The good news for him is he's now a fully fledged member of Flamengo's first team. The bad news for him is across 10 years, he's only made 57 appearances and scored 3 times for Flamengo. It's a little bit strange that a player that has been at the club for 10 years has only made 57 appearances. The good news though is that at the age of 25, he still may not have even reached the peak of his powers, and there could yet be more development to come out of the player. Looking at the attribute groups, the lack of game time hasn't really held him back in terms of development, but year on year, between 5 and 10, there is more that you would expect from this player. Looking at those attribute groups then, in the technicals, he now has standouts for dribbling, first touch, passing and technique still. In the mentals, it's all about his decisions, flair, determination, composure and vision. And in the physicals, acceleration, agility, balance, and pace are still the standouts. The big question here is, 57 appearances in 10 years has brought about this amount of development. Just how much is there to come in the next 5 years? At the 15-year point, Gui Ruck is now 30 years old, and there are two things that we can see have happened. The first of which is he has swapped Flamengo for Liverpool as he gets his big move to Europe. And the second thing is that move to Liverpool really seems to have unlocked him as a player. Now, the catalyst may actually have come before he left Brazil. He would leave Flamengo playing 153 games and scoring 20 goals. He would move to Liverpool on a free transfer and has now played 73 times, scoring 5 goals for Liverpool. In the time he has been at Liverpool, which is 3 seasons, there are massive steps forward in his development. Looking at the attributes now, we can see he's a completely different player from the age of 25. In terms of the technicals, dribbling, first touch, free kick taking, marking, passing and technique are all standouts. In the mentals, he has taken massive steps forward with anticipation, composure, decisions, flair, off the ball and vision. In terms of the physicals, it's acceleration, agility, balance and pace that have all taken steps forward. He would now have 226 appearances and 25 goals across 15 years of his career, and it has really brought the development out of him. The problem here though is that development really only came in the last 5 years between the ages of 25 and 30, which means that he probably needs more first team football in the first 5 years of his career than Flamengo were willing to give him. I think if you can sign him early enough in your save games and you can bring him through into your first team quickly, you are going to have a monster of a player. Now, the sample size here is 226 games, but by this point of his career, 15 years into the future, he surely should have around 400 games, and that amount of goals and the assists that he will provide from the midfield can surely be doubled or even trebled. Are you going to take the plunge and try and sign Gui Ruck in your save games? Once again, if you want to do that, you're going to have to download the Passion4FM Nextgen database. There will be the link to that in the description down below. And let me know your thoughts on Gui Ruck and how he developed. Do you really think that in the last 5 years of his career he's had that massive explosion? Do you also think that if you were to sign him earlier on, could you get that explosion of development probably sooner and maybe get it around the 5-year mark or even earlier than that if you expose him to first team football? Let me know your thoughts on Gui Ruck in the comments section down below. And whilst you're there, once again, do not forget to smash the subscribe button and check out the rest of the Wonder Kids series. For this one though, I'm going to leave it there. Big thank you for watching. I'll see you on another video very soon.